Thank you for tuning in to Homeschool Homesteaders. Today we're going to do pouring slab. This is a new series of building a garage. Before you could pour a slab, you obviously have to dig out a form, build some forms to hold the cement. So let's pretend this is your yard. Beautiful, luscious green grass over dirt. You will have to dig out. If you're going to do a slab, sure, there's retaining walls. I'm just going to do a garage on slab. In the state of Minnesota, you will need something 12 inches deep. Then you're going to go 12 inches like the base. You're going to have to build at an angle, dig at an angle, so maybe 45 degrees. And then in the state of Minnesota, where I live, in my area, the thickness of the slab has to be greater than 3.5 inches. Now, I do live on sand, so this is why it applies to sandy locations. If you live on some muddy ground, I'm not sure how it applies to you, but we're on sand, so this is what they recommend. You could also do this. If you're too lazy to dig, you just build a form above the ground. Make sure it's 12 inches high, 12 inches the base, and then you're going to have to shovel in some dirt. So make a little slope, 45-degree angles, and enough dirt so you could have a 3.5-inch slab. This is also an option you could do. I decided I'm just going to go with this method. So basically you dig out a trench, put in your 2x12, then you put some rebarbs. This is just a wrong view. Let's put some horizontal rebarb. And then we're going to pour it with cement. And then we're going to put some J-bolts. J-bolts, buy the longest ones you can. I bought 18 inches. So you have 8 inches plus 3 inches above and probably a good 7 inches below slab. So here, preview of what the finished product might look like, and just so you can see how the J-bolts stick into the cement. Inspectors are very nitpicky about this, so make sure you get good J-bolts. And here is some lovely animation. So you got the J-bolts in, you put some cinder blocks with the motor, then you put a green 2x4, make sure it's green treated, and then you put some studs. That's how you build your wall. So this is how your slab will look like. Once again, this is on sand. I'm not sure how it works if you live on some muddy ground or some swampy area. You could always dig by hand with a shovel if you have the time and energy, but I decided I'm going to rent a Bobcat. Bobcats are $500 a day because I cannot deliver it myself. They had to deliver it for me. I needed a total of 3 days, which is $1,516. So a very expensive equipment to rent, but there's no way around it. In a perfect world, you will have a flat piece of land. However, at my house, this is how my yard looked like. At an angle, so if I wanted to build a garage slab, I had to haul in 100 tons of dirt, like a sand type mixture. And basically it cost $2,200 to haul in 100 tons of dirt. So if you want to save money, build on a very level piece of land. And here you can see the forms. 3 sides are built and we're shoveling dirt to raise up the dirt line. You will then have to rent this equipment that compacts the dirt, and it's $90 a day. Here I have somewhat of a finished product. I just ran out of rebarb, so I wanted to double the rebarb along the edge, make it double. So I'm going to have to run to the store, get some more rebarb. And technically we are on sand. Rebar is not required but recommended, so the inspectors will still make you put in some rebarb. And so finally, yeah, I got the rebarb, and as you can see, I have a double rebar along the edge. I did it every 3 feet. What about the garage doors? And you kind of want your garage slab to have some kind of slope so the water runs out. So what we did was the front of the garage, where the garage doors will be, we cut them down 2 inches. And when you pour the cement slab, you could actually kind of level it. So it'll work. You'll see what I mean when I'll show you future videos. And finally, the day you pour. I asked some family members who specialize in pouring and cement construction work to come give me a hand. They work for free, and basically we got this poured within 1 hour, but then we had to wait because you had to polish it. The polishing little tool, I'm not even sure what it's called. It was $60 to rent, and so you wait till it dries, then you polish it. I'm not going to spend time on this because there's plenty of good YouTube videos on how to pour slabs, which you should watch. I'm not a pro. And we're just going to let the sun dry it out. Tomorrow, I'm going to remove the forms. I'm not going to show you how I removed every single form, but the next day, you basically just go and remove the forms. You might have to do some digging, you might have to use some elbow grease and some elbow muscles, but eventually I got them all out. Save them because this is very expensive wood, and I have other building projects which I'm going to use them for, so do not throw out your forms. There is a lot of information on how far apart you should space out the crack joints. It was from 10 to 15 feet. I decided it was going to look good if I did in multiples of 8, every 8 feet, because my garage is 24 by 48. So I will cut my joints on 8 feet. I then rented this tool. It cuts cement. The guy told me we don't need water because it's freshly poured slab, and he was wrong. It was really hard to cut, so I used a hose eventually. I never used this tool before. It was really difficult, but eventually I got a hang of it when all the lines were pretty much cut. So I had some crooked lines, but I need this for 3 hours, and it was $48 for half a day to rent. A very good tool. Make sure you guys use it because and I put 1 row of cinder blocks along the edge of my slab to give my wall an extra 8 inches of height because the studs were 8 feet, sorry. There's plenty of good videos on YouTube of how to lay blocks. I laid blocks. This is the second time in my life I am laying blocks. They look good. I think for a first-time person, I did a very good job. And I encourage you guys to watch YouTube videos, maybe practice. Start from the corner that people won't see, but I think I did a very good job of laying blocks. And so 1 row of blocks, here's how the finished product looks like. And as you can see, the doors are kind of, you can see where the garage doors and the regular doors will be. And if you're gonna do, if you want a sturdy base, you want to fill the cores of your cinder block with some cement. Now they do have special core fill, which is like $5, and only Home Depot carried it, and you had to have it delivered. So I decided I'm just going to use their cheap bag. It was like $2.79 per bag, and it's just the concrete mix for sidewalks and stuff. And each bag will fill about 4.5 cores on a 6-inch block. So, what is the total cost for a 24 by 48 foot slab. Well, the 2x12s will come out to $540. I'm going to go really quick. The rebar is $412. The 18-inch J-bolt $63. The 100 tons of gravel / sand class 5 will be $2,200. Poured concrete $3,560. We poured on the Saturday. It's much more expensive to pour on the Saturday. I also called around, and do call around because companies will have like a $1,000 difference. So we went with the cheapest company. Concrete blocks are cheap. I needed about 90, $132. The motor, the core fill, stuff like that, $182. And tool rentals. I showed you which tools I rented, $1,760. That is a total of $8,849. So if we look at this footage right here, I spent $8,849. So this $8,849 is about close to 40%, 37 of overall cost. So before you even begin the framing, the actual garage, $8,000 will go to pour the slab. Of course, I showed you where I had a money pit. Maybe you will save money by building on a more level ground. And maybe you have tools lying around like a Bobcat. But once again, Menards Kit does not include this price. So thank you for watching this video. Stay tuned for future videos.